Good morning to all of you. How are you? I hope all of you are fit and fine. Today we are going to revise this chapter, and the name of this chapter is The Ailing Planet, the Green Movement's Role. The Ailing Planet, the Green Movement's Role. In the previous class, we were discussing about the summary of this chapter, and we have reached to this conclusion that men are very dangerous creatures. They are very much ferocious in nature because they can do anything for their benefit. They can provide harm to the planet also, where they are getting their life. That is the reason why this planet has become ailing. Why this planet is not feeling well. Ailing means sick, weak. And because of the man's selfishness only, this planet had become sick. And we have seen that how man is degrading this planet day by day. There is no doubt that the growth of population is one of the chief factors distorting the future of human society, and we have came to this conclusion that why this planet is sick, because the population is going to be increased day by day, and because of that planet had become sick. When the population is increased, then every problem started increasing. Means to say that when the population is increasing, population is a good thing for the betterment of this earth, but we are well aware about this fact that in a vessel only those much quantity of food can be fitted, only those much of quantity can be kept in that vessel, up to which that vessel has some space. Means to say that according to the space of the vessel only, food is kept inside the vessel. In the same way, on this earth, according to the space, according to the demand of the earth, population can be kept on this earth. If you will increase this capacity, if you will increase this quantity, then disbalance is seen in this environment. Means to say that if population is increased in this earth, then automatically pollution will be increased. It is directly proportional to population. If population is increased, then automatically pollution will be increased. If population is increased, then your pollution is also increased. When this pollution will be increased, then what happens? The planet balance will be disturbed. The planet environment will come down. The planet balance will be disturbed. That is the reason. It is said that if population is increased, pollution will be increased. If pollution will be increased, then the environment will be decreased. So we should be very much alert, we should be very much conscious that our population should be increased. I'm not saying that that should be stopped, because this thing is also necessary, but we should increase this population according to the demand, according to the necessity of this earth. We should not increase this population. So we should always keep this thing in mind. The world population was 1 billion around the year 1800, and the world population was 1 billion around the year 1800. The present population is about 5.7 billion. Industry plays a very important role in the protection of environment. And this topic we have missed, that we have noticed the population. We have given the importance to the population, but we forgot the industry. Population and industry. Population and industry both are very much crucial for this planet. How? Let's see. Industries plays a very important role in the protection of environment. Their own existence also requires that they excel in environmental protection, because from the industries hazardous gases comes out, like sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, all this type of hazardous gases comes out. And when we cannot control all these gases, then they provide harm to this planet. So we should keep this thing in mind, that population is necessary to control, but industry functioning should also be controlled, because their functioning is most important for the protection of the environment. If their activities, if the industry activities is controlled, then only our planet will be saved. That's why Environment Protection Act was passed. That's why our government had passed this act, and this act is known as Environment Protection Act 1986, with effect from with effect from 19th November 1986. Means we have become conscious enough in 1986 that we have passed this act. According to this act, if air pollution, water pollution, or environment protection, whatever pollution will be done, this act will prohibit that activities. That industry will be banned, that industry will be stopped. That's why in the case of MC Mehta versus Union of India case, in that case, our Honorable Supreme Court had said that who pollutes this environment, who provide harm to this environment, that should be penalized. That industry should give compensation, and for this purpose, polluter pays principle was given. Polluter pays principle was given, in which Supreme Court had said that whoever will pollute this environment, because in Kanpur we have seen that the leather industries were mixing their harmful and poisonous water which comes out from that leather industry. Actually, the main thing is that in that industry they use these waters for washing the leather, the skin of the animals, and when they wash these skins of these animals from their bodies, harmful diseases comes out. They are very much harmful for this environment, and for cleaning this leather they use harmful chemicals also, and when they mix these harmful chemicals in this water in the Ganga, the whole Ganga river, holy Ganga rivers becomes polluted. So from there our Honorable Supreme Court had noticed that who is polluting this earth, who is polluting this water, who is polluting this environment, whoever is polluting this land, means wherever they are polluting, they have to pay for the compensation. But this is not the ultimate remedy which should be given. They will thought that if they will provide harm to this land, then they will give compensation. Then all of them will be ready. But Supreme Court has said that they should be penalized also, because we are human beings, and the moment whenever it is said that you will be given punishment, at that moment only we become very much conscious enough that if we will get punishment, then our reputation will be spoiled. So we will become more conscious enough that this thing should not be done. That is the reason. That's why this act was passed in 1986, that whoever will pollute this earth, they will be penalized. These are the functions of the Green Movement's role, because this Environment Protection Act, Air Protection Act, Water Protection Act, whatever acts have been formed, these are due to this Green Movement's role only. These are the parts of this Green Movement's role. Industries plays a very important role in the protection of the environment, because they should not throw their harmful and poisonous waters into the Ganga river, or they should not pollute this water. Their own existence also requires that they excel in environmental protection, and they are itself responsible for the protection of this environment. Now we have begun to look upon the world as an integrated whole. Now, because it is said that we are human beings, whenever we see any harmful situation, then we become conscious enough. We started shouting that yes, our fundamental right is taken away. Then they started shouting away. That's why it is said that because of all these situations, now everyone has started acting as an integrated whole, as a whole entity. It is an area of responsibility, and we know that all these activities requires responsibility. We realize that we must save the environment, and we realize and we become conscious enough that we should save this environment. Margaret Thatcher has rightly pointed out, Margaret Thatcher has said that no generation has a free hold on this earth. Means no generation can say that this generation has the free hold. Means they have the full authority, they have full power on this earth. No generation can say all these things. This earth is for everyone and for every generation, not for only this generation. This generation can't say that this generation is totally got superiority, totally got power over this earth, and they can distort and they can spoil this earth. That's why Margaret Thatcher has said that no generation has a free hold on his earth. No generation has a free hold on his earth. All we have is a life tendency with full repairing lease. And all we have is a life, and what we have a life tendency with full repairing lease, and we have got a lease of this earth. Lease, in the sense, this is a legal term which is used. Lease means you are using that thing, you are taking the benefit of that thing, but you don't have the overall superiority, you don't have overall authority over that thing. Means to say that you are only a beneficiary, you are only a person who are using that thing, you have to maintain that thing, but that thing doesn't belong to you. That thing is not of yours. That thing is of the owner only. And who is the owner? The Almighty God is the owner, and that thing belongs to Him only. We are only a leasee. Means we are only a beneficiary. We are only the person who are using these things. We don't have overall superiority over all these things. Margaret Thatcher has said a very marking words, had given a very enlightening words, that no generation has a free hold on his earth. All we have is a life tendency with full repairing lease. This means that we must keep the earth in good health so long as we live on earth. So, it is said that this quotation, this statement which was given by Margaret Thatcher, Margaret Thatcher has said that no generation has a free hold on his earth. Everyone has a life tendency which require full repairing. And if we will not become alert, then our entire planet will become weak, and one day this planet will die. Right now it is only ailing, right now it is not feeling well, it is only weak, it is only sick. But if we will not become conscious enough, if we will not become alert, then this planet will come to an end on one day. So for everyone, it is a provoking, it is an enlightening chapter which wants to enlighten us, which wants to open our eyes, which is already been closed in our selfishness. that we should not be become blind enough in earning the money only. We should do something good for our earth also. So what at the end what we can conclude that we must remember the words of Mr. Lester Brown, who had said that we have not inherited the world. We have not inherited the world. Means we have not taken the earth by our ancestors, from our forefathers. We have borrowed it from our children. Means this earth which we have, which we are using it, this we have not inherited from our forefathers or from our fathers, but we have borrowed it, but we have shared it from our children, because after our death our children will come and we are living in their generation, so we are borrowing it from them. So one thing we should always keep in our mind, that in our life we should not provide harm to this earth, because the moment this earth will come to an end, our whole identity, our whole status, our whole life will come to an end. So earth's life is our life. Okay. So this is the entire summary of this chapter. Now we are going to discuss the important questions of this chapter. First question is, what do you know about green movement? What do you know? What do you know about? What do you know about the green movement? And we have seen that. And second question is, what does the author mean by a mechanical view of the world? What does the author mean? What does the author mean by a mechanical view of the world? What do you mean? What does the author mean by the mechanical view of the earth? And we have seen that in 1972 from the New Zealand, these green movements have been started in a never looked back style, and this is the green movement. The green movement means the green movement which was started from New Zealand in 1972. The world's first Green Party was founded in New Zealand, and from there this green movement had been started. And second question was, what does the author mean by a mechanical view of the world? Mechanical view of the world means looking at the world as it was a machine that has no feeling, only interest, no emotions. So we should not consider this earth as mechanical, but we should consider it as a emotional earth.